Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, we are on the 5th part of the Set It Off series, if you didn't know. Set It Off is my favorite band, so I said, hey, I'm gonna make a series about them, ranking every song on every album, and then say my least favorite and favorites. I've done this with a few other bands, you can check those out if you want. And if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifs if you want to. Okay, so there are 15 songs on the album Midnight from 2019, and we go from 15 to 1. So, number 15 is No Disrespect. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 stars because I feel like the first time I heard it, I didn't really like it, and my opinion didn't really change the most recent time that I listened to it for this series. So, that's why it is ranked so low. Number 14 is Hourglass. Hourglass is I have everything written down, so I'm sorry if I'm looking down. Hourglass is a 3 out of 5 stars. Because it is not my favorite song from them, and it wasn't one of my favorites on the album, but, I do still think that it's a good song. I think I listen to it occasionally, but it's not one of the ones that is in my regular rotation of their music, so I think that's why it's down here. Okay, number 13, Different Songs, is also a 3 out of 5 stars. So, Different Songs I don't think it was ever one of my favorites, and obviously, if it's not one of my favorites, and I didn't like it, Okay, it just is not one of my favorites. It's not a bad song. Number 12, Criminal Minds, which I also gave a 3 out of 5 stars. So, Criminal Minds is also not one of my favorites, so it is also ranked low, so that's just why. Number 11, Dancing with the Devil. I actually do listen to this one quite a bit, but Dancing with the Devil is a 3 out of 5 stars for me, because I listen to it quite frequently, but I never really thought it was one of my favorites, so that's why this is here. Number 10, we are in the top 10, everybody, is I Want You Gone. And I Want You Gone is a 3 out of 5 stars. It was not one of my favorites, but it did make it into the top 10 just because I liked it better than the tracks that were below the top 10. And I thought it just is a fun song, Number 9, Midnight Thoughts. And I gave Midnight Thoughts a 4 out of 5 stars. So, I don't think I listen to it that often, but this one is also one of the ones that is stuck in my head constantly, the Midnight Thoughts when I'm alone, and I like it, because it's just in my head all the time, so that means, obviously, but it isn't one of my favorites. So, number 8, Stitch Me Up, that's weird, okay, wow. I guess I made this. Anyway, Stitch Me Up is a 3.5 out of 5. I don't know what I did, but you know what, sure. So I ranked Stitch Me Up before Midnight Thoughts. So, Stitch Me Up, just isn't one of my favorites, but I still think that it was worthy of a top 10 place. So, number 7 is For You Forever, which is, I'm trying to find it, 3.5 out of 5 stars. So what happened here? I think originally Midnight Thoughts was a 3. Anyway, it was, because I see it crossed it out. Nice. Love that I ranked that. But anyway, so For You Forever, just not in my regular rotation, but I do think it's one of the better songs on the album. So, number 6, Killer in the Mirror. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. This is another one that's always stuck in my head, the killer in the mirror. I sing it all the time, in my head, and just, when I just break out into a song for whatever reason. So, that's just one of those things, because it's just one of those earworm songs that just is always there. We are in the top 5 now. So, number 5 is Go to Bed Angry, and it is a 4 out of 5 stars. I didn't remember this one when I first listened to it. I don't think it was one of my favorites, but I do think it is one of my favorites on the album, for sure. That's why it's in the top 5, but, you know, it's not in my regular rotation, but I do really like this song. Number 4 is Raise No Fool, which is a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Raise No Fool is one of the ones that I didn't think that I liked until I listened to it again, and you know, it's a fun song, I love it. So number 3, these are like this top tier, iconic, songs. Number 3 is Happy All the Time, which I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. It's one of the ones that isn't in my regular rotation, but I do remember it was one of my favorites when I first listened to it from the album. So obviously that's why it's here, and I do think it's a very underrated track from them. I do think that it's kind of like a deep cut, kind of, and you need to listen to it, so do that. Number 2 is Lonely Dance. We love a single, and it is a 5 out of 5 stars. Lonely Dance is also one that's always stuck in my head. I do my little lonely dance, one step forward. I love that. The one step forward, one step backward, and it's great. So that's why it's here, because it's another one that's always in my head, and I do listen to it all the time. It's on my, like, every playlist I have. I love it. And number 1 is just one that I think is so underrated and so underappreciated, and that is Unopened Windows, which is a 5 out of 5 song. 5 out of 5 stars. I am a huge fan of their ballads. They're slower tracks, but there aren't that many of them, so when they do it, I'm just like, this is gonna be one of my absolute favorites. So tell me what your favorite on the album is, and stuff like that in the comments below, and I will see you guys next week with my least favorite Set It Off songs. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Turn on notifications if you haven't. And you know what? Share a smile, because that's really important. Bye.